Etiefo ni ahwefo memo akwaba. Enano mampani John Dramani Mahama Ghana to aba ema no wie na nse ono kwa ntimi nya adwuma ne so. Enti na wo se wo paw asoafo. Wadi kan apaw asoafo miensa wo mobeda asoya no ene vetting committee akwa setna anotutufo bedwakuo no a wo mo etoto omano e wo mrahye bedwafie. Yera eye onunyamfo Dr. Kessler Tuforsen. Finance Minister designate wano na womudi kan tutu nano yenko na hyebedwa fie na yenko tie sene ne vetting no eko.
When it comes to taxes, and if you look at the mid-year budget of 2024, if you look at page 107, you realize that tax from PAYE, if you look at the revised budget, it's about 21.113 billion cedis. Whereas taxes from self-employed for the same period is just about 1.572 billion cedis. So this is a ratio of 13:1. So the formal sector, PAYE, revenue from those taxes, is 13 times what we get from all the self-employed. So the gap is so big. What would you do practically to close this gap? A gap of 13:1. What would you do practically?
Remember, this is a very valid question and very interesting one. I think there's a genuine concern. First, we need to formalize the informal sector. Second, we need to encourage them to formally register with the Revenue Authority. And third, we need to incentivize them. We can learn from Uganda. Uganda has been able to incentivize the informal sector. And as such, they are collecting more taxes from the informal sector than most of sub-Saharan African countries. The question is, what have they done? What Uganda did was to agree through tax education that a percentage of whatever you pay will be used as your pension contribution, even as the informal sector. And so my proposal is, why can't we encourage, or through taxes education, encourage the informal sector by instituting an informal sector pension scheme where you will plow back, let's say 30%. It doesn't mean quote me for 30%. Let's say 30% of whatever you pay as your contribution from your income tax, as your contribution to your to formalize the informal sector and to incentivize them to pay. The options are there. I'm open for advice. I will listen, and I'm ready, as when approved as minister, to work with all of you to see what we can do to allow the informal sector also to contribute their widow's mite towards the development of our dear country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will then move to the majority side to take questions from the leaders of the Finance Committee. Starting from Honorable Azika Dongo.
Thank you very much, Chairman. First, I want to congratulate my honorable colleague, with whom I have worked closely over the years, but also to thank His Excellency for the privilege to bring a thoroughbred finance person from this House, who was involved in oversight for 6 years and practiced in government for another 4 years. When I was invited, I asked myself, what questions are there to ask Honorable Afotufosi? Because we have always been on this side preparing solutions, and I have been in meetings where you and I have led conversations on the way forward to save our country.
Honorable Azika,
all I can say here is
the
that
commentary and go straight to the question.
I believe that my colleagues are better placed because I know your quality and what you bring on board. So I have nothing to ask. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Adongo. It's not the turn of Richard Achampong.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Leader, congratulations. I've worked with you since 2013 to date, so I know what you stand for. So, Mr. Chairman, I have only one question for you. Mr. Nominee, how do you plan to address the country's fiscal challenges and ensure debt sustainability? Thank you very much.
Honorable Nominee, your answer.
Mr. Chairman, Ghana's debt management in the past few years has been a major cause of concern. It is sad to know that the country has gone through a very difficult debt exchange, domestic. It's also sad to note that we had to restructure our Eurobonds. In order not to repeat the past mistakes, we intend to establish an independent debt management office. But in the meantime, we have a major harm that we have to deal with. For example, on the 18th of February,